Okay guys, welcome to the last and final video of the paper version of this drawing of Tony Stark aka Iron Man. If you have seen Avengers Endgame, you will know that there is a big part of the film, and this image is a big part of the film. It does say on the thumbnail that there's going to be spoilers in this video, and there is a big hint. You have to wait until the end of the video to watch the end of that clip. It is ready and saved on my phone. No, I did not record it in the cinema. I've just literally found it on YouTube because, hey guys, this is YouTube and we love to share. But I will not try. I try not to and see the actual scene that we are recreating here on paper. We have done this over the past 3 days. On Monday, we sketched this and we took an image, as you can see on the thumbnails there, if you want to go and check up the playlist to find that other video where we did the sketching and how to sketch all of this and things like that. We also, on Tuesday, we did the next part, which was the inking in phase 2. But we've gotten to phase 3 now, guys, and it's time to finish what we started. We're going to be using some felt tips, as you can see here. We also will be using some fine lines, which I have already, as you saw in the close-up there a moment ago, done some lines here on the paper version. I haven't put any other ink on this other than the ink you saw me doing yesterday. And I've shown you how different effects can be used with pencil and pen to add shading without actually putting a whole heavy layer of darkness on there. I did do a lot of pencil and I want to keep that, so I'm going to be using pencils again for like the skin color and things that aren't metal, maybe. So I'll be sort of using it, maybe using a highlight, but only using the pens as like a highlighted, maybe only metal, and giving it a tonal color. I'm going to be trying to combine all of the art supplies I have into one picture and create the best thing I can, but I can't. The only way I can do everything together is as I also go and do it digitally as well. I do everything that I draw digitally. Everything you see here, there's also obviously last week's. If you didn't check that one out, guys, we did the Last Guardian. So definitely go and check that out. I did a highlight and say things like that. But again, spoilers in this video. I'm going to be listening to Kevin Hart's review on the film. He gives a very emotional response to the film. And to be honest with you guys, when I first saw the film, I was very, very emotional. There are very, very many emotional. And if anybody, guys and girls, are out there that have watched this film, and you'll know what I mean by it was time for him to be Iron Man. And you'll find out what he does well, you can kind of already guess here, but you can see that scene for yourself again, because obviously you can't see the film twice. Well, I couldn't. So, yeah, wait till the end to see the rest of this. But first, we'll get a review from Kevin Smith, and I'll be colouring away. Keep watching, and comments are always welcome. If you would like to leave a comment, guys, my name again is Blut0, without burping, Blut084, BLUT084, art and games. Yeah, so again, if you have seen that film, it is an absolute emotional film. I'll be talking over the review as well, sort of giving my comments and things like that. But I don't talk too much because I've got to concentrate on what I'm doing. I'm going to be really trying to get on with this, and I will give you hints and tips as I go along. Keep watching, guys. Don't forget, if you want to see the end of the video that I showed you at the beginning, don't forget to leave a like if you do, and subscribe if you need. And if you just joined me, then again, if you've just joined me there, guys, definitely say hi in the chat. Unfortunately, buddy, I don't understand that language. If you don't mind, could you translate? Oh, it's a shame he's just gone left. He's written in his. Oh no, he's from Iraq. There we go. He's adding some more comments. I'm just going to move some stuff around, guys, because I thought I was ready, but I'm not. To see the comments. Okay, so let's get some. Okay, buddy, if you're listening, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to be getting on with the drawing in a moment. I'm going to be using these color pencils and creative things. You can see what I've done already here with a little bit of color, and I'm going to be continuing on doing that. So also going to be using some pencils, but I won't talk too much because there's going to be a Kevin Smith review in the background. So if you want to keep watching, buddy, then keep doing. Leave some comments. I can still see those comments, and I will keep talking throughout the review to give my comments as well. But as you can see here, this is a massive spoiler. If you want to see the end of the video, which was at the beginning of this video, to see the snap, keep tuned.
And, you know, Thor's fucking depressed. He's like, I don't think
if you want to hear the beginning of this review, it was in yesterday's video.
Like, look at me.
So definitely go and check that one out.
And I should have gone for that. And like, he's just kind of
broken. The playlist or in the videos from earlier this week.
You are the best and blah, blah, blah. Really beautiful.
Thank you very much for all that comment on my picture. I tried very hard on this one because it means quite a bit to me, the actual scene.
And, you know, kind of charges.
Thank you very much for that like as well.
Back into the adventure. So most of the adventure is predicated on we got to get these stones.
Well, I'm going to try and get some skin tone here.
Time stream.
But
in the
peachy
time
colors.
stream,
normally what I do is use a bit of pink here.
Jumps back to
and I'll use an orange as well. But I've got to find that right orange.
War Machine. To the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, that planet where Star-Lord, where it opens and he's dancing and he goes and finds the orb with the stone in it. At the end of the movie, find out it has an Infinity Stone in it. So they bring you to the beginning of
spoilers for the film there, buddy.
Chris Pratt redoes the dance sequence until he gets knocked the fuck out and shit. But Nebula's there, and meanwhile, by being in the same era as her other self, like they're accessing the same memories. So at one point, Thanos has old Nebula strung up, you know, and he's kind of pulling her apart after a fight she had with Gamora and some shit. And all of a sudden, she starts projecting a conversation from her head, projecting.
He's going for the story of
our Nebula had
film, like, guys. Just be warned, he's actually giving a full to the point
suddenly
review.
Thanos knows that these heroes, who he doesn't even know the Avengers at this point, really. He knows that they're coming in. He has just started his hunt for the stones, and so suddenly he's like, "It works. I get all the stones, and these fuckers are trying to jump back in time and stop me from doing that. So all we have to do, rather than go hunting for these stones, is wait for them to find the fucking stones, take them back, and do that."
Swearing in as well. I did forget to tell you at the beginning, guys.
He wants to snap
it's too late now, but be warned, that probably can be quite a bit.
Suddenly he's on their asses. You know, like fucking Thanos is a player again. Like, and not just in flashback. Suddenly the flashback or the time travel Thanos becomes the main baddie Thanos that they got to fight for the rest of the fucking movie. Remembering that they killed Thanos in the first fucking 10, 15 minutes of the fucking movie. So suddenly you got old Thanos, who we never really met except in, like, you know, credit sequence of Avengers when he was sitting on his throne and shit like that. That's the one that they wind up fighting in the third act. I'm trying to think again. So Black Widow, and she hunts down Clint, who's become Ronin, and he's in Japan just fucking icing Yakuza people and shit like that, just killing fuckers because he's lost his entire family, he's lost his mind. So she brings him back into the fold. Him and her, he's the first one to test the time tunnel, the time bracelet that Tony Stark developed. He jumps back in time to his farmhouse and he sees his family, sees his kids and stuff, and then he gets yanked back and stuff. So he's like, it works. We got a chance. We could fucking do this, man. So boom, they all fucking head out. Now, those two wind up going to, is it Vormir? No. You know, wherever the fucking Soul Stone was, where Thanos had to pitch Gamora, you know, off the cliff in order to get the Soul Stone. You have to give up something you love, where the Red Skull's hanging out and shit. So they show up and the Red Skull's there and, you know, he gives them the same rap about you must lose something you love. So one of them, in order to walk with the Soul Stone before, anybody could come get it, before Thanos could come get it, one of them has to fucking die. One of them has to give up the other. And both of them are trying to give up their lives for each other. They're longtime friends. Like at one point, it's a beautiful callback line when they're like in the fucking ship traveling through space and shit. And he turns to her and he's just like, this is a long way from Budapest. And it reminds you of the Avengers line where, she's like, this is exactly like Budapest. And he's like, you and I remember Budapest very differently. So beautiful fan service moments like that. So they want to go to bat for each other. Barton is, Hawkeye, he's just like, I ain't got nothing to live for and I killed a bunch of fucking people. So let me do this, and fucking, she's like, no, like I never had anything in my life. And this family gave me everything. And so like, she's like, I'm going to do it for my family, and they're heroes. So both of them are like, they start beating the shit out of each other, not like fighting, but knocking each other down to be like, I'm doing it. And then they both fucking go over the cliff. But, he's attached to a fucking cord and shit. And she's like, let me go. You have to let me go. And fucking like, she can't hold her. And she goes, Black Widow fucking sacrifices herself for the Soul Stone.
Man, I wasn't expecting that. But it makes sense.
That's it. Like, she don't fucking come back. It's not like, in the third act, there she is. Dead. Just like Gamora.
Guys. I don't understand why she's getting a standalone film, though.
But Gamora's in this because they went back in time. And so that Gamora, who's still like working for her dad, Thanos, sees this video, hears these things, knows that it happens. So like the snap eventually happens. She's like, you can't let him do this. And she teams up with the new Nebula, because old Nebula knocks out new Nebula and takes her place and hides amongst the Avengers and like destroys the fucking time tunnel thing they created by bringing Thanos through.
Maybe just tuned in. We are listening to Kevin Hart's review. It is spoiler video, but I am colouring in and
time travel. So
trying to get some good tones here with pencil. I will be using darker tones with these felt
real
tips
Nebula
here.
Convinces old Gamora.
If you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like and leave some comments.
Like in the future,
and if you're very new, don't forget to subscribe
and shit like that. And so old Gamora helps new Nebula. At one point she runs into Peter Quill, and Peter is just like, Gamora! And he touches her and shit, and then she fucking like decks him and takes him out. She gets your fucking hands off me, bringing their relationship back to the very beginning. Like, so it's not like a reset, but like, oh, here we go again. So what the Russo brothers are doing masterfully, and I'm probably forgetting shit, is set the table to get everyone where they fucking need to be, man. And this time heist, as they all go off to get the stones, Hulk, Bruce Banner, goes to Doctor Strange, because they said at one point there's stones.
Oh.
And one more keystroke of there you go. Hey everybody, Jay Muse here. You were watching the Smiddlekins, Kevin Smith, but now you're watching Jay Muse, and I hacked into his little business here because he didn't bring me to the Avengers, right? He went with him and his daughter. Oh, what about the hetero life mate, Muse? So this is what you get, Smith. If you only had a VPN, you'd be safe, my friend. I use ExpressVPN for multiple reasons. One being I travel all over the place. I'm here in London and Australia, but I use it because I want to watch my shows that I watch weekly in the US of A, but I can't do it on Netflix and Hulu and all that when I'm out of state, out of country. But I can with my VPN. That's right. ExpressVPN gets me where I need to be on my Netflix. Oh, what up, Sophia the First? Oh, look how easy it is. ExpressVPN, less than $7 a month. How do you like those apples? Hey, you want to get 3 months free? Click the description box or put in expressvpn.com/SMOD. SMOD. I want to say one more time, it is $7 a month for the 30-day money-back guarantee, man. Oh, now back to Thanos Smith, the big Avengers watcher. You know what? Back to him, because I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to go watch my own movie with ExpressVPN.
There's 2 stones in New York. One, of course, was the Tesseract from Avengers and one is the Time Stone because it's held by Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange is still a surgeon at this point. He hasn't become Doctor Strange. He's Dr. Stephen Strange, not Doctor Strange, Master of the Mystic Arts. So Hulk goes to Greenwich Village, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and the Ancient One is there. From Doctor Strange. So it's not Doctor Strange. He's got to kill the Ancient One. And she at one point does that astral punch, which knocks him into the astral plane. So Bruce Banner gets knocked out of Hulk's body. So you get to see Ruffalo playing Bruce Banner, even though it's a mostly Hulk as Smart Hulk movie. So the Smart Hulk goes down, and Bruce Banner's in a spectral astral form, if you will, trying to convince her to give up the Time Stone. She's like, "You're out of your mind." And that were the Ancient One, which I know meant to be sexless. So eventually, he goes, Stephen Strange gave the stone up. And she was like, Strange gave up the stone? She's going, all right, Strange is meant to be the best of us. He hasn't happened yet, but she's the Ancient One, so she knows. So she's like, if he gave away the stone, there must be a bigger plan. So she opens up the Eye of Agamotto and gives Hulk that stone. So I think that covers all the stones, right? The Tesseract, the Time Stone, the Soul Stone, the stone from the Space Stone, I believe it is, from Guardians, the Ether from Thor: Dark World. That's 5. How many stones are there? 6 or 5? 5? I think. If there's a 6, I forget what that one was. But anyway, I think I've covered everybody. Yeah, because there's like 5 knuckles. And then there's one right there too, right? Where it's like, So anyway, my man has come into the fucking present, like badass Thanos, and he comes to like the Avengers after his ship goes up comes through the time device. They just start raining fire on the Avengers facility and just level it to the fucking ground, just destroy it. Trying to kill everybody because they're like, these fuckers, if they succeed in what they're doing, I will never get those fucking stones. Let's kill them all and we'll just take the stones and go. Because they've now collected the stones and they put them, they've got an Iron Man type glove and they want somebody to fucking wield it. Somebody got to do it. So Hulk's got the glove on at one point and fucking does the snap with it. And they're like, what happened? Like, and they open up shutters and they see birds outside. And then, because they're all locked in the facility. This is before it gets blown up. And then there's a ringing phone and Hawkeye looks at it and it's his wife. Linda Cardellini plays his wife. She's Velma from, she's done a lot of things, but she was Velma in Scooby-Doo. She's calling him. So you're like, holy fuck, maybe they're back. But you don't get to celebrate because boom, Thanos starts raining fucking fire on the Avengers mansion and on the Avengers facility. He opens up time holes. Well, first he has a big ass showdown. Fucking, everyone's gathered and whatnot, and Steve and Tony and Thor like come together to face down Thanos. This old Thanos in the present, who now knows what they're fucking up to and shit like that. So this is Thanos in his prime. They're not even fighting weakened Thanos. That's whose head they cut off in the beginning of the movie. This is fucking Mad Titan Thanos in his goddamn prime, wielding a weapon that looks like a helicopter fucking blade and shit.
I'm gonna go in with these pens now, guys.
A kick-ass fucking fight scene with these 3 heroes taking on Thanos. And Thanos is in prime form. If you came for the whiz bang and the punchy, they don't fucking skimp on it at all. It's fantastic. And the Avengers are getting their fucking ass beat. Ooh, I forgot. There's a wonderful moment on Asgard with Thor, where before he gets out of there, like he, at one point he fucking like throws out his fucking hand and his mom is there. And she's like, sometimes it takes a minute. And then fucking Mjolnir shows up in his fucking hand because he's back in the past. So Mjolnir hasn't been destroyed yet by Hela. And when he gets the hammer, like Hemsworth is such a good actor, even through all like the heavy ass makeup. He's so elated. He's like, I'm worthy. Like after all this time, he's like, oh my God, I fucking still earned the hammer. So then he fucking calls down the lightning and they suit him up, but he's still Fat Thor. Like I kept waiting for him to be like, well, as soon as the lightning hits, they're gonna thin this guy up. It's Thor's outfit is just fucking big, man. Very big. So Cap, Iron Man, Thor go to confront Thanos and have this wicked ass fucking fight and shit like that. And Thanos is just beating ass and shit. And then at one point, you know, fucking Thor gets knocked on his ass and drops Mjolnir because he's fighting with Mjolnir and Stormbreaker and shit. And all of a sudden, like fucking, you know, he's about to, Thanos is about to like fucking kill. Oh, he's trying to drive the fucking Stormbreaker into Thor's chest and head, cut his head off, like just like he was like, you should have gone for the fucking head. So he's about to kill Thor, and all of a sudden, bam, he's fucking hit with something. And when you're in the audience, you're like, no.
Oh, this moment in the film, guys. Oh my god.
Who hits Thanos hard enough that he's gonna fucking be moved, let alone knocked off of fucking Thor? And what could it be? Is it Mjolnir? And it is Mjolnir. And you're like, but if Thor's on the ground, who could be fucking wielding Mjolnir? And they fucking cut to Captain America with his hand out, fucking, and the hammer comes back into it, and he's wielding Mjolnir. Remember the moment in like Age of Ultron where he went to move it, and it moved just a little bit, and Thor looked and was like, Jesus Christ, maybe he's worthy. They cut to Thor, and he's like, I knew it, you know, because it's like Captain America of anybody, like Thor. This is the shit that breaks me up. Is worthy enough to wield that fucking hammer because he's so fucking pure and good at heart. So Cap fights the shit out of. He gets his fucking shield broken by Thanos. Thanos beats his ass into the fucking ground. But fucking that shot you see from the trailer where he pulls the fucking shield. Like at one point, Tony goes, "Hey man, I made you a new shield." So he gets his shield back. Everybody gets their shit back. Mjolnir comes back. Homeboy gets his shield back and stuff like that. Tony got the armor back on, but he never really left the armor behind. So they all fucking fight. Cap's using his fucking Mjolnir and shield combo to beat the fuck out of Thanos, banging it and shit like bang. Cap Marvel, who I left off, like she comes in the first 15, 20 minutes to help go kill Thanos and shit. But then she's like, I got shit to do on other planets. Then when they cut back to her later on, she's cut her hair. So she looks like the short-haired Carol Danvers, which Rocket makes a joke about and stuff. But then she returns for the fucking, you know, Thanos ship comes through the fucking sky and shit like that and rains fire on Avengers facility. And then Thanos fights like, you know, our fucking three heroes and beats all their asses. And then he opens up fucking wormholes, you know, in dimensional holes where fucking like millions and millions of fucking minions and beasts and monsters and uglies come to Earth, and he's like, you know, normally I don't fucking take any of this shit personally, but I'm gonna enjoy burning this little stupid fucking planet to a cinder. Like he's just, now I'm gonna wreck shop. Fuck you people. Like, and he's got the army to do it. And it's literally Captain America only, because everyone else is down for the fucking Cap. It's Captain America versus Thanos and his entire fucking army. And Cap is gonna be beat. And we've been told that this is it for Cap, and he's gonna die in this movie and shit. So you're like, here it is. He's got the broken shield, fucking pulls it tight on his hand. He's still ready to fucking go. And then all of a sudden you hear a voice, man. You hear, you know, Cap, do you read me? And it's fucking Falcon. He goes, on your left, which is from, you know, Civil War. Oh God. I know you're not supposed to cry about this shit. Mean girls take your video and fucking say how unfuckable you are and stuff like that. I don't give a fuck. Like, my wife tells me I'm unfuckable, so I don't need a stranger to tell me that. Number one. Number two, I'll pay anybody to make me feel something in this life. And these fucking movies make me feel. And when fucking I heard Falcon go like, on your left, I just wanted to kiss the Russo brothers. That is fucking top-notch fan service right there.
Yeah,
They
man,
know
the fan
we've been
service in this
listening,
was
listening fucking
very
closely, man.
tainted.
So that's a moment right out of Captain America, Winter Soldier, right? That's just Winter Soldier, where he's like, where he meets Falcon, he's like, on your left, and he keeps running by him. Cap looks over his shoulder, and fucking Falcon, a hole opens up, and Black Panther and Shuri and Okoye come through the fucking rift, representing Wakanda. And then fucking Falcon comes with them. And then through this hole, the other returning Marvel heroes, hey, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy. Through this hole, holy shit, it's fucking Spider-Man. Like every fucking Marvel hero returns and stands behind Captain America and fucking takes on Thanos. It is mind-bending. Like, it's fucking crazy. See it on the biggest screen you possibly can, because you ain't never seen anything like it. You know, remember the opening of the Challenge of the Super Friends when they ran at each other and shit? We saw that in Civil War. Russo brothers gave us that. It's like, wow, man, that's a piece of my childhood come to life. This is like a Gustave Doré woodcut. It's so fucking beautiful. And everybody fights everybody. Everybody gets a fucking moment in this movie. It's fucking absolute batshit crazy. They all fucking fight. Meanwhile, they're trying to fucking get the Infinity Gauntlet, the new gauntlet that's got the gems in it, and fucking Thanos gets his hand in it, but fucking boom! Captain Marvel shows up and beats the shit out of him, stops him from doing the snap and stuff, and fucking she's gone. But then he does this fucking trip where she's bending his fingers back. It looks like she's gonna break his fingers off. And I'm in the theater going, break his fucking fingers! I loved it when they cut his head off. I was like, yeah! They get to kill him twice in this fucking movie. Spoilers. So in any event, she's about to break his fucking fingers off. And then he does something where he like pops the glove so one of the stones pops out into his hand. And then he fucking uses that to like punch her in the face and she goes flying across the fucking screen and shit. So it looks like he's going to fight. Like Captain Marvel's the best of the best. And she just fucking got iced by Thanos too. And so, you know, he fucking gets the gauntlet, you know, in the middle of this vast battle, and fucking everybody's fighting. It's everyone you love. It's all your fucking heroes. And it looks like a comic book fucking come to life. Looks like a gigantic, you know, fucking, let me see. Who'd be the best artist, man? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to, like, I'm trying to figure, like, because I don't want to do it injustice and somebody be like, what? Like, my first instinct was to be like, you know, when they did Hanna-Barbera Super Friends character studies, the great, like, Steve Root used to do a lot of those character designs. Sometimes they just put all those heroes in one fucking frame. You're like, wow, man. It was kind of like that. Or it was like, you know, reading fucking Secret Wars and seeing every fucking character in one double page splash page, double page spread, is mind bending. It is excellent cinematic entertainment. This is something you can't do on a Broadway show, you know, or anything like that. This is only something you could possibly see in a movie, you know, or in a movie that streams on your fucking device or whatever the fuck. It's just so crazy top over and out there. Now, fair credit, it all came from comics, so you could see it in comics as well. This is the first time you see it like writ large on the big fucking screen. It is mind bending. So eventually,
okay, so let's get on with the
Infinity Gauntlet onto his hand and shit like that. He fucking beats
metal, because you've done the skin tone. Hopefully you've seen what I did there with different colors. I used the pink, also used the orange to mix and match to make it so it's not too orange, it's not too over tan.
Like every fucking hero.
But leaving a little bit battle worry as well. But hopefully you like the colours I put on the face here.
But Thanos
or the actual glove. I'm going to be going to the glove, going to the armor as well, using the same with the pencils, but I will use pens a lot more on the metal. So keep tuning, guys. Again, you can leave some comments if you're watching live.
Like, I am inevitable. He fucking snaps his finger and you just hear the snap, the empty snap. And then he turns the fucking glove around, the gauntlet around, and the stones are gone. And fucking you cut to Tony and the stones are in the fucking Iron Man glove and just fixing into place. And so Thanos goes, I am inevitable. And then Tony goes, I am Iron Man. And he fucking snaps. And like, oh my God. Just destroys them all. Basically, he reversed the snap. Like they reversed, the way I understand the movie is, I think Hulk reversed the snap. Because at one point later on, he's like, I tried, because there's a long denouement. He says, like, I tried so hard to bring Nat back with Snap. He tried to bring Black Widow back, but she didn't come back with everybody else. So Hulk Snap brings everybody back, and that happens, like, before Tony Snap. Tony Snap defeats Thanos and his army. All of a sudden, they just, because you're like, how the fuck do you get out of this? Like, they painted themselves into a corner. This is like fucking World War III. And of course they could paint themselves out of the corner simply by letting them snap. So you see all the fucking minions dust off and start turning into dust, and everyone's like, going ape shit and whatnot. And fucking then you see Thanos, who is a great character, man. Josh Brolin deserves like all the credit in the world, and the brilliant artists who turned him into fucking Thanos. But that performance, which takes an actor and a team of digital experts and shit, is fantastic. You forget that's not a real fucking person. That's a big ass cartoon, man. And still, there's such humanity and pathos, even in his like defeat. Like as much as I wanted to see him fucking lose, when he sits down and like he knows he's about to dust, they don't let him speak. They don't give him a speech or anything like that. He just looks fucking defeated. And it's the young Thanos. And again, we get to see him kill Thanos twice in this movie. That's how good this movie is. They knew you wanted to see Thanos die, so they're like, we're going to do it in the first act, we're going to do it again in the third act, and you're going to love it just as much both times. So boom, evil is vanquished and shit like that. Life doesn't like go back to absolute normal. It has 5 years of past. So Ant-Man, Wasp comes back, Hope Van Dyne and stuff. We see Hank Pym, we see Janet Van Dyne. Everybody fucking comes back. They're hanging out with his kid at the end, and the kid is 17 now. Like it's not like, hey, she's a fucking kid again, like she wasn't Ant-Man in a while. So I don't know what that means, man. If that means like you do another Ant-Man movie that's set in the future where the kid's 17 in a post-snap world, or do you do a tale pre-snap that who would want to watch that? It'll be a while before they can get into the pre-snap stuff. And they could always use that, but I don't know how they'll touch time travel again because they've done it so well in this movie, man. They adhere to the rules that we know from other movies, but at the same time, they introduce new rules. We're like, no, if you change something in the past, the future does not go back to normal. It fucks everything up. So, like, we have to be delicate about this. So after Thanos is vanquished, then we got a denouement. We got to see where everybody goes. And, everybody turns to look at Tony, and Tony is fucking fried. The snap killed him. Just like the snap, fried fucking Thanos and shit, fried off half of his face. Tony is the same fucking way, and he's just like catatonic and not really on death's door. And so the kid, Spider-Man, is like, we did it, Mr. Stark. We did it. We beat him. And he's like, Tony's just not there. Pepper moves the kid, and she's like, we did it. Like, you did it, Tony. It's over. It's over. And he never says anything again. He just closes his eyes and fucking dies. Tony Stark dies in the movie. Sons of bitches, man. But he gave his fucking life. What a hero. He wanted to stay home and raise his kid. That's what he earned. That's what he deserved. And he got that for 5 fucking years after the snap. But in order to give everyone else their fucking lives back and their families back and stuff, he went for it. He fucking did it. He was Iron Man, but not iron enough to fucking live. So he dies right there. And then there's a funeral where every Marvel character attends. All the people we know and love from these fucking movies as Tony is laid to rest. And there's a really beautiful scene with Favreau, who, Favs directed Iron Man, started this whole fucking ride. Him and Kevin Feige, had this dream of like, imagine if we got to like the Avengers, and they got so much further. So there's a scene with Fabs and the little girl who plays Morgan.
Oh, this thing.
And he's like, how you doing?
Yeah, this scene, guys.
At the post-funeral.
Oh,
Real
God.
sweet. It's like
I didn't want to leave the cinema
and,
because there was tears.
She's all like, I'm good. I want a cheeseburger. And he smiles, and instantly you're like, oh, like, I know what that is. Fucking Iron Man wanted a cheeseburger when he fucking got out of captivity. When he first got home, he's like, I wanted a cheeseburger. And so Fabs goes, your dad, he liked cheeseburgers too. And it's so fucking like, we're that little kid in the movie. Like, that's it. We've lost Tony Stark, and it's so nice to hear something so comforting. And he goes, and it's so cute. He's like, I'll give you all the cheeseburgers you want. Oh my God, I love it so much. That's what you say to a fucking kid anyway, let alone say it to a kid who's lost her father, who's like the most incredible human being the world's ever known, the guy who saved everybody. So sweet. So there's movies about supermen and superwomen and shit like that, but it's the men and women part of the equation. Super is what gets us in. Look at the whiz bang. But it's the men and women part of the equation that makes us fucking stay. You want to be these people, not because they got superpowers, because they're human beings just like us who make the right choices, make the hard choices and shit like that. Really beautiful, touching shit. So they're not even done. Bring a towel. Bring a beach fucking towel, because you will cry throughout this entire fucking movie, man. Cap. Thor decides to leave. He doesn't want to be king of New Asgard, and he turns that over to Valkyrie. And she's like, I'd like to make some changes around here. He's like, I bet you will. and he joins the Guardians of the Galaxy. And he says, he's like, look at us together again as Guardians of the Galaxy. And they're like, what? So if that's how they're going to do it, Thor might continue on, you know, because they can still make these fucking Thor movies, or he could be part of the Guardians or whatever the fuck. But he's going off, like, into the universe to find himself. He's leaving Earth, but not in a shitty, I hate Earth kind of way. Just like, you know, he goes, look, my whole life, I've been trying to be this person that I'm supposed to be. Now I just want to be who I am. Life's really
Just adding a bit more
great storyline.
shading here with the pencil. Again, I'll go over with the felt tips later on. But I want to get down the main shading first before I go really in depth with any coloring.
It's really quite beautiful. So that's Thor's storyline. Black Widow, as we know, lost her for the Soul Stone. Clint gets to go home and be with his family. Let's see. Tony's laid to rest. Captain America. You know, now we all expected Cap to die. All the trailers make us feel like he's going to fucking die fighting Thanos. He's going to die for this country. At one point, like, you know, they talk about it's Tony and Ant-Man together. Tony Stark and Ant-Man. And they're in the past with the Avengers, and they're looking at Chris Evans' uniform from the Avengers. And so Tony Stark goes like, oh, Cap, those pants did nothing for your ass. And like Ant-Man's like, I always thought of your ass as America's ass, Cap. At one point, Captain America has to fight Captain America from the Avengers. So our Captain America fights that Captain America from the Avengers. And, you know, they're expertly fucking matched. It's a really dazzling sequence as Cap fights Cap. One's wearing the mask, one's not and shit. But eventually he takes him out, and that Cap is like down for the count. And Chris Evans looks at him because he's ass up, face down, and he goes, that is America's ass. Like, shit like that was fantastic. There's like a Fortnite joke when we first meet Thor. Him and Korg and Meek are playing Fortnite, and he gets on like a headpiece and argues with a kid on Fortnite and shit. Real, like, fun stuff that you know, makes those movies fucking really light and enjoyable. So Captain America, you know, they I can't believe I remember all this from one fucking viewing. Bruce Banner, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something big. Bruce Banner promised the Ancient One, I will put the stones back before, you know, right where they were. I'm going to return the stones to each point in time where we take the stones. That way they've never left. So, you know, technically she's not giving up the time stone for the from the Eye of Agamotto. Like, he's going to return it before she even gave it up, or the Ancient One even gave it up. So Cap is tasked with bringing all the stones back. And they're like, well, it's going to take you as long as you take, but it's going to take you about 5 seconds in our time. You know, you ready to go? You got to make sure you go back to all the exact places. He's like, I'm ready. And so they suck him through the time hole and shit. And they're like, okay, bringing him back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he don't come back through the time hole. You know, and so you start sitting there going like, did Cap finally take one for himself? And then they see somebody sitting on a bench a few feet away by the lake. And they walk over, and, you know, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, is it going to be young weakling like Steve Rogers before he got the super soldier serum? It's fucking beautiful. It's old Steve Rogers, old man. It's like 85, 90 or something like that. And he's all like wrinkly, and he lived a fucking life. And, you know, he's like, I'm sorry I didn't come back, boys. You know, it's like, I just decided, like, essentially he just wants to have a life. Like, after all that service, after fucking 7 years in the ice, after fucking defeating the Nazis, after 3 Avengers movies, or 3 fucking Captain America movies, all the shit this motherfucker had to go through, he just wanted a little fucking R&R, man. He just wanted a life. So he went back, and you know, he's wearing a ring, and so you see it at one point, and then Falcon's talking to him, and he's like, do you want to tell me about her? And Cap's like, you know what? No, I don't think I will. Like, he kept something for himself. But Cap gives Falcon the shield and the outfit, and essentially makes Sam the new Captain America. Old Captain America, old man Captain America, makes Sam Falcon the new Captain America and shit. And then the whole fucking movie ends with a flashback to the past of Steve, like a little house in the middle of nowhere, and they're playing like this old timey 50 song or whatever the fuck. And they push it on the house, they push it to the window, and there's Steve dancing with Peggy Carter. Rips your fucking heart out. Like, he fucking got married. He got his dream. And I was ready for this motherfucker to die. Like, they show him in the trailer looking at that Peggy picture and tightening the fucking shield. You're like, they're going to kill him. I can't believe they're showing us the moment they're going to kill fucking Captain America. And they didn't. These Marvel fuckers are so good at their jobs. They gave Cap a win. Like, he got to fucking have a life after all that shit. Obviously, I'm messy and unfuckable. Like, but that's how I feel about these movies. This movie is spellbindingly good. I don't think there's ever going to be another
very
movie
much so.
like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they took 22 movies to build up to this fucking
22 movies, guys.
Somebody else could probably try to beat that. Somebody else might be able to pull that off. And guess what? This ain't the last fucking Marvel movie. They got lots more. Probably ain't even the last Avengers movie. But it's the last time with all these characters that we came to love over the course of 10 years. People that were parts of our family. They say that television, since it's in our homes and shit back in the day, people would turn on the TV.
Shit.
It made those people who are on TV stars, like, part of your family. Like Robin Williams, when we were working on Good Will Hunting, said, like, there were people outside the bar we were shooting at, and they were like, Mork. And I was like, man, they still yell Mork? He's like, that's what I get the most. And this was a decade or more, 2 decades maybe, after Mork and Mindy. But I was like, really? Man, not Good Morning Vietnam? He's like, TV puts you in people's homes. You're part of their fucking family. These Avengers, they're not a TV show, but they became part of the family. All these Marvel movies, man, we watch them in theaters, we watch them at home relentlessly. There's so many of them, and there's so many repeating characters, and we've got to follow their lives and their arcs that they're deeply entrenched, man, and deeply invested. There's a reason that they did those signatures at the end to kind of mimic what they did with Star Trek, the Star Trek credits, man. Like, it is epic. Something big just happened here. And believe me, the media won't let you forget it. It's in all the news. Like, it's fucking huge. But it is an absolutely astounding achievement, man. So fucking entertaining, beyond satisfying. As I was walking in, there's a lot of red carpet questions. Like, what do you think's going to happen? I was like, is that? Like, fuck? And so many people asked me that. I was like, is that the question? Like, I never once thought what's going to happen. That's why I come to this shit. If I could imagine this shit, I wouldn't come here. I'd do it for myself and be like, I don't know, Jesus saves them all. And obviously I don't have a lot of imagination. That's why I don't let me make those fucking movies. But I don't go to those movies going, here's what I expect to happen. I like to get taken on a journey. And they fucking took me on a journey. 3 fucking hours. All of it flew by. All of it fucking short. Not a piece of it do I regret. I'm not sitting there going, they could have done this. They should have done this. It was all so artfully and beautifully done by people that love these characters as much, if not more, than you and me and shit. So hats off to the Russo brothers. Hats off to Marcus McFeely, the writers. Hats off to Kevin Feige, Victoria Alonso, all the people who work at the Marvel Studios and whatnot. This is an incredible fucking achievement. This is not me trying to align myself or anything like that. But the only movie that I've seen with this much fan service treatment is the movie I just finished making, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, which I'm not going to say it's the Avengers of my movies. But I took so much care to be like, oh my God, like if you like this, I'm going to reference this. I'm going to reference this. It's not like deep cuts where you can't enjoy it, but fan service. Because if you're making like a number 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of a movie, this ain't about art anymore. It's about fan service. You're giving people what they want. I like those characters. I want more. Here you go. And hopefully it's artfully done and they can be standalone stories. But the moment you're sequelizing something, you're in the fan service business. So as I was making Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, I was so meticulous about my fan service and I felt proud. I'm like, nobody's ever done this before. Then I saw Avengers Endgame and I was like, I doff my cap to you, sirs. You, both of you, all of you involved, truly understand the meaning of the term fan service, as well as the meaning of the term art, as well as the meaning of the term fantastic storytelling, man. Some people tell me all the time, well, you like this shit too much. You like all Marvel movies. You blow everything shit. Whatever. I fucking like what I like. And they make great shit. I'm not alone. And it ain't even about a box office numbers game. Look at other people. They say the same shit, man. I ain't in the bag for this beyond the fact that I just love good storytelling. I don't make any money off it and shit. In fact, I spend a lot of money on this shit because they make these movies. I'm like, first taste is free. And then after that, you got to fucking pay. So, man, this comes from a fan. I love this shit. I love it to death. I have no interest in making that kind of movie, man. It seems too big and time-consuming and takes a lot of talent that I do not have. But fuck do I like seeing those movies. And I love seeing this. I'd watch it again right now. I hope you found this useful or interesting, because that, you know, it's a recap of the movie, and hopefully you haven't listened to it until after you've gone to see the flick. But once you've done that, go watch it and see if I was right. What did I forget? Like, I'm probably sitting here going, what the fuck am I forgetting? You know, there's some Rocket stuff, but like, I think I hit all the major pieces. I fucking loved it. I can't wait to go see it again. I'm gonna see this shit 3-4 times in the movie theater. I don't care. It's 3 hours apiece, man. I literally could have watched it again right at the end when they rolled the credits. I didn't see any post-credit scene because we saw it at the premiere, and when the movie ended, like all of a sudden they brought the lights up, and then they brought all the Avengers up on stage and shit, and they all spoke. It was really fucking beautiful, man. So I can't wait to pay to see this a couple times and see what happens after the credits roll and stuff like that. My hat comes off to you, Marvel. I love you. Thank you for making movies to make me feel like I'm a kid again, man. Loved it. Avengers Endgame, 2 stars. No, I'm kidding. 18,000 fucking stars on a scale of 4. There you go. That's my fucking review. For Fat Man Beyond, I'm Kevin Smith, man. Thanks for hanging out and watching. Mark Bernard will be along shortly, I'm sure, with his review of Avengers Endgame when he gets to see it. But there it is, man. Spoilers.
Yeah, guys, that was a big spoiler for you. Well, not much for me, but if you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like. I'm not finished yet. I am going to be doing some more to the gauntlet, and I'm going to be adding the color to the top of the where it says I am Iron Man. But hopefully, you've noticed that I haven't put I put the A in a sort of a coin, a sort of a shape like Tony Stark is like the richest of richest. But just give me a second.
Hey everybody, welcome.
What's there? There's TV going there. But yeah, I added the shading in here. I could give a close up before I go any further, really. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I used these 3 colors to do the base here. We add. This is also on top of all the shading that I did for yesterday. If you want to go and check that out, guys, definitely go and check that out and see how you can do. Let me know on Instagram. Again, my name's Blut084, BLUT084. And then we move down to the metal, or so the Iron Man of Tony Stark. And we've added a bit of shading. Again, I left the shading that I already had and used that as a template to basically go over and just color it all in. Get it all colored, but leave a little bit of shading. So you go darker into the corners, but you leave a little bit of light because the light source is coming from the gauntlet itself. And that's why I'm trying to keep the light source. But I put a little bit of light in here and a little bit of blue just to show that that's not see-through, if you like. And then I put a bit of color here to sense when the helmet actually forms up around his face. Those would be his eyes there. Again, back to the gauntlet. Again, I can't really remember the picture, the color scheme on the gauntlet itself, but it is not the Thanos' gauntlet. It is not the Infinity Gauntlet. It's his own creation. As you heard in the review, you will see the snap at the end of the video, guys. Don't forget to keep watching, or if you just want to see that scene, keep watching because it will come up the end. Remember the beginning of the video. I'm trying to find out the colors for where the correct placement of the gauntlet gauntlet. Oh my goodness! For the gauntlet's Infinity Stones. So give me a second or two. I'm going to grab my phone. One is not needing charge. Yes, it is. Right, so I can't use that. So let's quickly find something for the correct position of the Infinity Stones. If you know the correct ones, let me know in the comment section and tell me there. But I'm going to quickly go over and use my other screen, use the computer to find an image. But I think a while before I do that, because it will probably be boring for you, let's find out a few things from the end game, the Easter eggs that you may have missed because you've obviously gotten the spoilers if you've been watching at the beginning. Sorry, if you've been watching from the very beginning, you will know what I'm talking about. trying to find something for you to listen to before I get there. Okay, let's go. Things that fans probably didn't notice. While I quickly find something to do.
There's never quite been a movie like Avengers Endgame. That's probably because there's never been a movie franchise like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With over 20 interconnected movies released over the span of a decade, Endgame had ample opportunities to make tons of references and callbacks to a sprawling continuity of characters and plot twists. And while many significant lines of dialogue were pretty easy to spot, like,
I love this all day.
and
I am Iron Man.
there were still plenty of other fantastic callbacks that may have flown over your head. Here are some of the small details you might have missed in Avengers Endgame. Beware, gigantic world-ending spoilers ahead. Throughout the film, we got lots of direct references to previous movies, but some are less obvious than others. For example, when Natasha Romanoff and Clint Barton fly their spaceship to Vormir to retrieve the Soul Stone, one of them quipped to the other, "We're a long way from Budapest." That refers back to a mysterious mission the two of them went on in their shared paths that they referred to during the events of the first Avengers film.
Just like Budapest all over again.
You now remember Budapest very differently.
Meanwhile, just before the undusted heroes all join Cap to fight Thanos and his army toward the end of the film, we hear Falcon jump on the radio to tell his partner, "On your left." That's a callback to when Cap kept lapping Falcon when the two first met as competing joggers at the beginning of Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
On your left. On your left.
On my left. Got it. Say
On your left.
Come on!
But the most endearing
Okay,
and
so we've got a
heartbreaking
picture.
callback
I'm gonna
when
put those
Happy
in now.
Hogan chats with Morgan after her dad's funeral and asks if she's hungry. She says she wants cheeseburgers, and Happy smiles, saying, "Your dad liked cheeseburgers too." That's a reference back to a scene early on in the very first MCU movie, when Happy and Pepper pick up Tony after his rescue from the Ten Rings, and he demands two things: that Pepper call a press conference, and,
I want an American cheeseburger.
like father, like daughter. Unless you spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's a better than decent chance that you have no idea what Avengers Endgame directors Joe and Anthony Russo look like. Well, you actually got a great look at one half of the directing duo. You just might not have realized it at the time. When the movie jumps 5 years forward in time, we catch up with Steve Rogers and his support group in Queens, New York. In that circle of trust is a man who says he and a date spent the whole evening talking and crying. That guy is Joe Russo, the younger half of the directors who also helmed 3 other epic MCU entries: Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War, and Avengers: Infinity War. This also wasn't Joe Russo's first time in front of the camera either. He appeared in an episode of Arrested Development, a show for which he and Anthony directed several episodes, as well as in their film You, Me, and Dupree, and all 3 of their other MCU films. Though Joe's part as Bert the paparazzi in Infinity War hit the cutting room floor before the movie made it to theaters.
Bert! I see you, Bert! Bert, you son of a... Come here, Bert! Come here!
Yeah, we gotta get on girlfriend.
Meanwhile, in addition to directing episodes of Arrested Development, the Russos also behind the lens for several episodes of Dan Harmon's beloved sitcom Community. And that's why 2 familiar faces from that show, Ken Jeong and Yvette Nicole Brown, who played Senor Ben Chang and Shirley Bennett respectively, appear over the running time of Endgame. Jeong shows up early, working the security desk at the storage place containing Ant-Man's van, while Brown appears about halfway through the movie during the Johnson
come on,
Shield
guys.
base in the 1970s. As the camera pans past Hank Pym's workbench at the SHIELD base in the 70s, a distinct-looking helmet sitting amid the rest of his stuff stood out. Longtime comic book fans recognized it immediately as the original helmet Pym used in the comic books to chat with his ant buddies. Curious about how the helmet works? Lucky you! Back in Tales to Astonish number 35, where the helmet first appeared, we got a handy-dandy diagram explaining all of the helmet's inner workings. While it stands to reason that a real helmet made for talking to ants would need something a lot more sophisticated than miniaturized electronic equipment, it was still extremely cool to see this important piece of Marvel Comics lore show up on the big screen. Clint Barton's return to the Avengers gave many fans what they'd wanted ever since Infinity War. But Endgame also delivered a slyly concealed reference to the comic book pages that only the most ardent Marvel fans may have noticed. When Scott Lang is freaking out over doing the time travel test with the last remaining Pym particles, Barton quickly volunteers to take his place. The moment makes a lot of sense for his character, as he's got nothing left to lose by this point, and he's ready to do whatever it takes to try and satisfy the Avengers' mission to restore the world. However, if you've followed Barton's comic book exploits over the years, you'll know that he has a tendency to reach for the Pym particles when he wants to change things up. In Avengers number 63, Barton got fed up with not being able to contribute as much as his superpowered teammates, so he dropped the Hawkeye shtick, drank some Pym particles, and took the name Goliath. Instead of relying on his superior marksmanship and fighting abilities, Barton got big and smashed stuff. In a movie as gigantic as Avengers Endgame, it'd be truly impossible to catalog every single character's appearance, let alone even recognize a fair number of them in the first place. Case in point, only the most dedicated of Marvel fans may have recognized Howard Stark's butler from Steve and Tony's visit to 1970. But loyal viewers of the late lamented Agent Carter TV series from 2015 to 2016 would have recognized Edwin Jarvis, played by James Darcy, both on the small screen and in Endgame. The movie's writing duo of Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely were executive producers on the show, so they probably had a plan to bring their beloved butler back with this giant MCU swan song for quite a while. Meanwhile, in a truly blink and you'll miss it moment, none other than Howard the Duck joined all the heroes during the big battle with Thanos and his army. Keep your eyes trained at the bottom right of the screen when all of the resurrected heroes step through Doctor Strange's portals in the third act. Specifically, when Hope Van Dyne and the Ravagers appear. If you pay attention, you'll catch little Howard running onto the battlefield with a gun in his hands. Believe it or not, this is the third appearance Howard has made in the MCU. He first showed up in the post-credit scenes for Guardians of the Galaxy, and then appeared again on the party planet of Contraxia in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, chatting up a nice lady.
You know what they say, you're out of luck until you've gone done.
The phrase Endgame appeared twice in previous Avengers films. The first time came when Tony Stark was defending his reasons for building Ultron.
We're the Avengers. We can bust arms dealers all the livelong day, but that up there, that's the Endgame.
Then, in Infinity War, Doctor Strange gave Thanos the Time Stone, a move that no one could believe. When Stark asked him why, Strange echoed his earlier Ultron explanation.
We're in the Endgame now.
Endgame, meanwhile, is a phrase that's commonly used in chess to signify that the game is winding down because there aren't very many pieces left on the board. A pretty accurate summation when it comes to the status of the Earth's heroes by the time the film starts up. However, it might not surprise you to know that way back in 1969, the 71st issue of the Avengers comic book had a story called Endgame. The two don't have a ton in common on the surface. The comic book version features characters like the Black Knight and Kang the Conqueror, two guys who have yet to appear in the MCU in any form. But the stories also have more similarities than you might expect. In the comic book, the Avengers fight their way through time, sometimes battling once and future members to save the planet. Is it worth rereading some random comic book from the late 1960s to get some better insight on one of the most successful blockbuster movies of the last 10 years? Probably not, but the similarities do seem at least a little too close for the name to be a total coincidence. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about Avengers Endgame are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.
Shut up, dog. Just getting in some shading and adding the extra textures, as I was saying at the very beginning, that I'll be using pencils and pens, guys. So keep tuned, keep watching, and let's get rid of that tune. Because obviously I'm going to get copyright for that. So give me a second, I'm going to find something else for us to listen to that wasn't as long as I wanted it to be. So maybe start another review. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments section. Wait to the end for the full video. But if you can't see it that well, then definitely come over to Instagram. My name is Blut084, BLUT084, Art and Games.
welcome to Comic Pop. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Tiffany. I forgot that Ben was in here every time.
Yeah, well, we're here to talk about Endgame. There's going to be some spoilers ahead.
Some.
It's all going to be spoilers. So, you don't want to be spoiled. Add us to your watch later, Chris.
Yeah.
Watch it later.
And we'll just tell you now, I think we all enjoyed it.
Yes. Yeah, if you're just going to the theater right now and you're not sure if you should see it, obviously see it.
Which is like,
You're like in line, you're like, I don't know if I should see it, I don't like it.
Well, I got to see what Comic Pop says. Oh, they like it. Oh, thank God. Then you can come back to that video, and then we can all hang out and reminisce about how great it was. So that's the bare bones.
Yeah.
Let's jump into it.
Yeah.
Endgame is the 4th Avengers film. 4.5 if you count Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
Absolutely an Avengers film.
Yes.
I don't even think they started. It's directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, and it is the culmination of 11 years worth of Marvel films, starting, of course, with Iron Man and pretty much ending with Spider-Man Far From Home. Kind of the same way that Ant-Man capped off Phase 2.
Yeah. Right.
Like where it was like, oh, and then it went like,
And also this.
yeah, and also a bug-based Marvel character.
It's a pattern.
Yeah, I you know what? This movie's all about patterns, so I'm down. This is, for all intents and purposes, this is the culmination of everything. And I gotta tell you, like, we all loved it. I feel like if they were like, we're gonna stop.
Not making any more movies?
I'd be okay.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'd be okay. Because as a comic book fan, I don't want to dominate the conversation. I'm just going to get my piece out right now. As a comic book fan, I kept thinking, okay, how are they going to bring back so-and-so and so-and-so? Oh, I guess they can do this, that, and then I'm like, why? How much more satisfying would de-aging Cap or resurrecting Tony be when inevitably they do get old or die or don't want to make those movies anymore? And then you have to write them out of the cinematic universe afterwards.
Yeah.
This is a perfect send-off. While I'm excited for the future, it's a little less bright.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Sad about that.
Yeah, for me, like, Thor felt a little underpowered in this movie. And then I remembered, like, oh, wait, he's out of shape. Like, because he was so powerful at the end
of Ragnarok.
End of Infinity War.
Well, at the end of Infinity War, he's also fueled by, like, anger and rage.
He had all this energy.
I kind of dig that, though, about Thor, that, like, his emotion plays a huge part in his ability to fight.
Right.
And so when he's been torn down like this, he's less confident in himself.
Right. Like, the combined forces of Cap, Thor, and Iron Man couldn't fight Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet. And at first I was like, oh, they seem to be doing so well when he had it before. But then I thought, like, well, they're really not. Thor is not at full strength ability here. He's, like you said, he's demoralized. So it kind of it works for me. It added a little element there. I was like, oh, that kind of explains that. Like, someone thought about that.
Well, and it allowed us to have like an authentic battle with Thanos again without it feeling like we're doing the same thing, and also without it being unbelievable that they would that they could lose.
Right. Well, I mean, like, it also helps that in that situation, Thanos was very much in the mindset of like, but I have to win here.
Right. He's actually like more zealotized than before.
Yeah, somehow. Because he's like, I know I won.
Right. Now I know I won, and you're trying to take that victory away from me. I haven't even felt victory yet. What do you think of Thanos and what they did with Thanos in this one? Because, like, whereas Infinity War was pretty much Thanos was practically the protagonist of Infinity War, this one he felt like more of like a plot device. I mean, he's clearly the antagonist. But is he?
Yeah. When the antagonist is like, phase in this movie.
It's
like
failure.
But he is the antagonist, at least of the.
He's the embodiment of inevitability.
Yes.
Or fate.
I thought I kind of like that because he got his moment to shine.
Yeah.
Right. And in this movie, we just needed to see. Well, we saw the conclusion of
his arc.
Really, and now what we're seeing is this. It's like a parallel universe version of Thanos.
Yeah.
Really, it's a version of Thanos we've barely seen before.
True. That's the Thanos that we have only seen shades of. Or only we allude to the entire time.
Yeah. And so I kind of like that. Like, it's like you're getting with Thanos who was just like a purple monster.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a lot going on motivationally, and he's just a big tough guy that you gotta fight.
Right. But you also know all his subtext.
Yes, and you know what he's gonna be.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
So we don't have to complain that he doesn't cry.
Right. or that the villain's two-dimensional. I'm like, no, he's not. We know who he is.
Yeah,
We
he's
know who he
completely
becomes.
three-dimensional thanks to the last
But
movie.
we're gonna focus on all our other characters now because
Exactly.
we did that.
Yeah, we gotta
That's
focus
the kind
on
of thing you can't do with a normal movie. That's
true.
Here.
Yeah, and it's weird to hear judgment for this movie as a movie, where they're like, "Oh, well, it felt like a mess. It felt like all over the place. We saw a lot of criticisms that were lost
Yeah.
in that." And I felt like, okay, I'm not gonna judge Endgame on the same level that I'll judge like The Shining or some other movie that like
Right.
is completely self-contained
Yeah.
and is this thing that was created to tell this one story and then go out into the world. This is the 22nd or 3rd movie
Yeah.
in like an anthology series that is about those characters.
Yeah.
And so to say that like the 9th Agatha Christie novel didn't make any sense is folly.
Well-
It's not the same kind of judgment. You could judge it as a movie.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that's definitely the beginning, middle, and end, but it's
Yeah.
like that's like trying to like someone who just saw Return of the King on its own.
Yeah. And went like, oh, I don't even know who these characters are.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
bouncing all over the place.
Right.
Return of what? What was it? The fact that like we get the opportunity to see a Thanos who now knows his own future,
Mm-hmm.
and so like he goes from this mindset of being like, this is gonna happen someday. I found a Power Stone. Here we go. I'm on
I'll
board.
take 10
I'm
years
on
to get there.
board. This is gonna be great. Wait a minute, I won, and they're gonna take it from me? No,
Right.
no, they're not.
Yeah.
No, because I won.
Right.
Yeah.
Screw you.
And I can cut to the chase because they have all the gems now.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't have to wait 6 more movies to get them.
yeah, yeah. I kind of like that impatient nature of Thanos because the Thanos we got was so much
More calculated.
Yeah, calculated.
Yeah.
He had the time, and like I dig that because like in the end, like we do defeat him, but it's his own undoing
Yeah.
as well.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
It was a great Hawkeye movie.
Hawkeye opens the movie and
Gut-wrenching.
gut-wrenching, and yet like seen the fallout of the snap already,
Yeah.
right? And you think it couldn't get sadder than when Spider-Man dies in Tony Stark's arms, and then you finally check in with Hawkeye, and it's like, whoa, what a great sequence. And that kind of like is, I think, an apology to not having a part in the last movie, but also is like a reminder, like he's going to be really important and vital to this story.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was they did it to us again.
Right.
Remember in Age of Ultron where we're like learning about his family and like we're getting all this backstory. It's like, oh my God, Hawkeye's gonna die. And they start out with this, and we just keep getting all this stuff about his family.
God,
And I was like,
He's like, you
Hawkeye's
don't know,
gonna die.
you know what I've done or what I've become. I get to be
They
Ronin.
did it to us again.
Yeah, they did it again. By the way, that Ronin sequence where he's like in Japan and he's kicking ass.
Yeah.
That for me made me very excited for something I'm probably never going to see, which is a Daredevil movie, because it was a street level character with no blasty powers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Straight up hitting people with swords
Yep.
and like doing. And it was just a well-directed, well-shot action sequence
Yep.
that felt like no other scene in the movie, and that no other character in that movie could have pulled off because they don't have like the skills and the lack of powers to make that happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really cool.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
Because
Ant-Man.
like he also bears the burden of humor in this,
Mhm.
along with like Hulk occasionally.
True, yeah.
But like, man, I kind of forgot for some reason about Ant-Man's little like man crush on Captain America. And as soon as he's back, I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
set that up. Yeah.
Yeah, well executed.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's great
It was a great
because
movie.
not only is he fun
Hey guys,
and
just
it's great to see
pre-warn you if you just
Scott
joined me,
Lang,
there's going to be
Avengers
spoilers in this video. I'm now coming up to the
it was
conclusion of
cool
finalising
to see
what I'm
how
drawing.
important he was
If you want to watch the whole
and
thing,
how
definitely put me in your watch later
in
list.
this movie, while also
And
being
watch it back
this kind of like
when you've got
outside
more time.
character showing up being like, I was never really on your team,
Yeah.
but I am now.
But like, man, I get to put this on my
yeah,
resume.
I loved it. And I loved every use of him. I mean, the quantum realm trick worked out great.
Yeah.
And that was where I was like, oh, that's what this movie's going to be. Where, I mean, a lot of speculation. We ourselves talked about how there might be time travel in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was pretty sure it's gonna have something to do with the quantum realm. Whether it's
Yeah,
time
because,
travel
like-
or some other trick.
Yeah.
That was such a specific way to prevent him from being snapped.
yes.
Yep.
And like to have him be trapped there instead of him just be lucky enough not to be snapped. I was like, yeah, no way.
Yeah, but the fact that they actually make like Act 2 more or less about time travel,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
We got a little time travel movie out of this movie.
You had a fun name for it. You get time heist.
Time Heist,
Time heist.
which is also great because it's tied in with Ant-Man because Ant-Man was a heist movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Or at least it was character such.
Yeah.
So
It was great.
that Time Heist is great
Mhm.
and rewarding
Yeah.
and fun, and also managed to do the self-referential thing where they're
Yep.
like, let's set up the rules by establishing what the other movies that have done time travel rules are.
Yeah.
Though I'm still kind of fuzzy.
Acknowledging the like confusingness of time travel
Yes.
by referencing those other movies.
Yeah.
I
That being
enjoyed
said, can someone explain to me how their time travel actually worked? Before we get into it, is the explanation that the time stone basically is the retcon protector that will self-correct the timeline if you put the stones back?
No.
No one said that.
No.
You could say that
I think
now if you want, but that was
the
in the
source-
movie.
I think that the ancient one kind of implied.
No, the ancient one implied that every stone would cause
Yeah, would create a new.
would create like a
Yeah.
splintered reality.
And
she just used that one as an example
Oh,
because
okay.
that was
That was the one
that-
she cared about.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It was her time, her Infinity Gem. No, I assume it has something to do with loops because they made it very specific that like
Stark refers to it as a loop.
even if you go back and if you go into the past, your past becomes the future you came from.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
like it's not the past anymore
Right.
right.
that you're in.
So, but then the ancient one explains that you get tangents when you make a change.
Yeah.
So they got to have it like both ways because there can be a loop where you go back and do something that actually becomes part of the
Okay, let's give you a zoom out because I need to get
Yes, but you can also create a tangent if you actually do
more done, and I want to show you what I'm doing.
You can Back to the Future.
Right, and then the tension in this movie was, but then we can't leave those universes changed. We have to go back and put the thing back. And then for the ancient one says like, I need that time stone. Like, you're gonna create a new reality, but my reality will need it to defend it.
Yeah.
So that was like the ethical.
Right.
choice they had to
Oh,
make
okay.
to go back. They didn't have to go back to fix their timeline.
But they did have to go back and fix those
to
timelines.
fix the parallel universes that they created. Was my interpretation
Oh.
of that.
See, and I was wondering if they were very specifically only speaking of the Infinity Stones, that like their removal would
Right,
cause the
and-
splintering because of just
Yeah.
their like
absence from that
I
universe.
couldn't tell,
yeah.
but one thing leads me to believe that it's not just those. That was just like, well, this is what you're doing. You're removing those, so that's where the branches occur.
Sure.
Because Thanos came from the past into his own future.
Yeah.
And yet he didn't like vanish. Like he didn't.
Right.
If he'd really done that in our past,
Yeah.
it would
And
change
when they
everything.
unmake him,
the snap wouldn't have happened.
the snap
in
would
the
have
first
happened,
place.
and then it would have happened.
So he must have created an alternate universe when he did that.
Yeah.
So that's the only way I can explain how.
And
that works.
also, we need to be able to have that kind of rules because Gamora's back as a result of time travel.
Right.
And
Or
she doesn't
she
get
isn't.
unmade. Nebula doesn't
Well-
appear when she shoots her younger self.
Yeah.
So that's their way of being like, no, you can.
We just don't see
Yeah.
what happens to Gamora.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
we
that
do
was
see what
a-
happens to Nebula, so we have to trust that Nebula.
No, I
doesn't
mean like
Well, yeah.
we don't like
This
get
is a
any.
separate question. Like, where did Gamora go?
Well, oh yeah, and where did Gamora go? We'll find out in Guardians.
Yeah, she ran off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably grabbed
She was freaked out.
one of their spaceships and left.
Yeah.
Because like clearly Iron Man's snap is to destroy all Thanos' forces.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Should
the
that
one to it right there.
Right, but that would not include Gamora and Nebula, I guess.
Yeah, like Tony would know Nebula.
Right.
Yeah.
But would he know Gamora?
Right. I don't know. And
I'm
that,
sure they'll figure it
now
out.
we're begging the question of like, well, how does the snap actually work? What
Yeah.
are you doing?
Do you
when
have
snap? Do you have to think about every single individual that you're erasing?
I doubt it.
Do you erase a category of people?
Yeah, I think
that seems
it's-
dangerous,
right?
Like,
I'm gonna get rid of Thanos' people. Like what? Who were those?
yeah.
Oh, these turtles.
Right? I
Do
hope
you,
not.
do you go into like a realm where it's like, okay, I have all the time in the world. I'm gonna pick. And it's gonna take me days. but I'm
Yeah.
gonna select everyone.
But-
And then when I come back, it'll have just been like.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
But
I don't know.
it's fun to speculate
We
about.
got a little bit of information because Hulk said that he tried to bring back Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as if he like had to like do something specific to try and like,
Right.
specifically.
No,
bring her
that could
back.
also be because but she died along more involved with getting the Soul Stone, so
Right.
it could just be because of their entanglement
Yes.
with an Infinity Gem.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
They're just like that's breaking the rules.
Yeah, you can't.
No, you can't have it both ways. Although that being said,
Well, what does that mean when he said he tried? Like, what was he trying?
My
to do?
assumption
Like, did he
was-
see her somewhere, and he's like, "Come on, like,
No.
come with it." She's like,
yeah, like Deadpool. My assumption is that he was like, bring everyone back and also Natasha.
Mhm.
Like
And then she just wasn't there.
And then she, when she wasn't there with him,
he
he was
knew
like,
that she didn't come back, even though she
yeah,
could have
Well,
been
and he
over
could've
there.
felt-
But he like,
But if
Yeah.
she did come back, she would be over there.
right, she'd
Right,
be
that's
on
true.
on that planet.
yeah, but somehow like he was like, sure,
Yeah, no, I know. But I'm just saying, like, so, like,
Yeah.
You come back where you.
That's true.
where
They
you
could,
fell.
and they could do that.
And that's that. We speculated about this in the car.
Yeah.
The idea that
Car.
yeah, you trade a soul for a soul to get the soul gem in this universe.
Sure. Right.
Which means when Steve puts the soul gem back, hey, I want my soul back that I paid
I don't think
to
that's
get
how it
this.
works.
See, yeah, and
Well, but-
I don't think that's fair.
I don't think it's more like it's a loan.
Well,
you
Right,
know what
like
I mean?
use it.
Like,
Yeah, you pay for the soul gem, you get it.
But it's like renting something. If I
Yeah.
rent a car and I bring it back,
I don't
I
get
don't
the
get my
money
money
back.
back. I rented the car for that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to enjoy the car and use the car. For
Right,
stuff.
exactly.
So I think Red Skull would say, "Oh no! You
Right.
put that soul gem to plenty of good
But
use."
except it's not. We don't. The terms of the deal of getting the soul gem are
It's a
not
soul for a soul,
conditional.
right.
It's not like well, and also you don't get to keep it.
And don't forget, this whole conversation would have come after Steve was done punching Red Skull in the face.
Oh my God! How could no one have warned me about you?
Yeah. Oh, I really want to see that movie.
Yeah.
Where
Steve's going back in
going
time,
to returning all the
sneaking
gems.
into places in
And
Asgard.
he
He's like,
goes-
whoa.
He goes there and he's just like, all right, I know there's going to be a shadowy figure here.
Yep.
Whoa, Captain America! I'm a big fan of your films.
It's just like,
OMG. I don't even have time for this.
you know
Jim,
what?
you know what?
I'm
Throw.
making time for this.
What happened? We tried to punch him in his current state. Like
I don't know.
we just phased through
I
him.
no, I think Cat could do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Captain
His rage would.
He probably had Mjolnir at that point. He probably just
Yeah.
wailed on him for a couple of years. About satisfying endings, like
Hmm.
Tony, Steve, that's satisfying.
Yeah.
Natasha, not so much, though I get it.
It is satisfying.
If it
only,
is her final hour, I'm okay with it.
I am too, only because of the nature of her. They got the job done.
Right, that's what she's
And at
all
the end
about.
of the day, that's what she wanted. And like, it's weird to say, but she died like a warrior's death, and she did everything she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like in the situation, the two people who were there, one
Yeah.
had a family who had lost, and they were going to get back.
Yeah, and she's like,
And
and,
she's
I'm here.
She's like, and like, I value my life, but like,
Well, and the job and the mission and all of you guys, but like, no one's gonna miss me when I'm gone.
No, it's that you'll be
No.
more missed because you have an entire family.
yeah,
that,
because like I feel like
needs you.
I have a responsibility
Yes.
to see that you get home because Clint doesn't value himself at that point.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
like, she is like, no. I have to be,
She's
I have to be the adult in the room.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because if you like look at it like objectively, like it should be her because he does have a family,
Right.
Yeah.
and they need him, and he's only feeling like it should be him because
He doesn't have a
protective of her,
family.
it's a friend,
Yeah.
and because he says like you know the things I've done,
Yeah.
but
Like,
he's
he's just
talking to someone who's done
Even worse.
Even
things.
worse.
Right, but I
things.
think he's saying he's like what I've done since they were gone.
yes.
Like I don't.
I'm not the
I-
same man.
I'm not the same man, and how
Yeah,
can I go
don't
back
deserve
to
them.
Yeah,
having
yeah.
that?
Right. And
And I
she's
think-
like, but that could also be her being like, no, I believe in redemption now.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so
Right.
I'm giving it to you.
Yeah,
The
and
same way that I got it by becoming an
I think
Avenger.
it's also he wanted to do that because he's just like, I am bringing my family back, and like I'm not going to make someone else pay that price.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
fair.
mean, he's just like, and of course, billions and billions of other
Right,
people.
right.
But like, for me, I'm bringing my family back, and you shouldn't have to pay that price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and
So-
they both had really good points.
It was
Yes,
great.
and
And-
you could have been sad and upset by both deaths.
Yep.
And it's a legitimate fight/argument.
Mhm.
And so for those reasons,
Yep.
I think it works.
Yep.
But also sad
Yeah.
because it's also too bad that the only woman on the Avengers
Yeah.
had to die.
Right.
Yes.
But as you pointed out,
A-Force shows up.
A4 shows up at the end to remind you there's plenty more where that came
Which,
from.
like, I was like, you know, like I'm sure people, there's gonna be some folks who weren't a fan of that part, but like I dug
Who
it.
cares?
I
Yeah,
dug it.
that's
I
awesome.
was just like, that was great.
Yeah.
And
Also, at Tony Stark's funeral, everyone's standing in their franchises. So, like, you
yeah,
know
we
what?
just
Like,
put Thor.
we can have a scene where every woman with a speaking role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, except for Natalie Portman, can show up and stand
Well, with-
together and
with-
fight.
with like powers of some kind.
With powers or
powers.
abilities
Yeah.
or skills.
Yeah.
Movie starts off. We get Hawkeye.
Mhm.
Then we switch gears, and Captain Marvel finds Tony Stark. Gut-wrenching scene. I didn't expect Nebula to be
Mm.
like there with him.
Right.
I thought she left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're there together,
That was
and then we do this incredible thing where it's just like, let's just go kick Thanos' ass right now and we
Right.
get the stones
Yes.
back. I'm like, thank you for addressing that.
Yes.
Right. Let's go down.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
The only way they wouldn't have been able to is if they couldn't find him, but it's
Yeah.
like unbelievable that Nebula in particular wouldn't know
Yeah,
what he was. So
so-
that was perfect.
Yeah, they answer all the questions. They tick all the boxes. They're like, all right, we don't have Hulk right now, but like we still have Thor. We've got Captain Marvel now.
Yeah.
We'll throw Bruce Banner back into Hulkbuster.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
do this.
exactly.
Let's just wreck him.
Mhm.
Yep.
And indeed they do.
They do.
And
Oh.
it's satisfying, but also hollow, which is great.
Yeah.
Like, it works because they're not really being Avengers at that point, although they are. Like
Well,
they're avenging
They're
the
being Revengers.
Yeah, they're being
Avengers. Yeah.
because they just slaughter this man who has nothing and is also severely injured.
Well, and it's not they who do it. It's Thor who does it
Yeah.
because he doesn't know any
What else
other
to do?
way.
Yeah.
And but like what I love about that is like you said, the hollowness of that is what leads Thor down that path.
Right.
It's just like I recognize now that action did nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that I failed, and then I got revenge, and
I don't feel
I don't
better.
feel
It
anything.
doesn't
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah, he refers to himself as, oh, I killed Thanos, but he's like in this like decrepit state. It's like, yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
matter.
and look at where it got
Everything's still a mess.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's really cool. Like, that was a great, satisfying sequence because it's so narratively
Yeah.
satisfying.
So like that happens, and we're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then it's
Now what?
black.
Right. And then the 5 years
Five
later.
It said 5,
years.
and I was like, it's gonna be years.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah, which
And it
is
was.
pretty spectacular,
So
and,
great.
and they
Yep.
adhere to it.
Yeah, they were like, oh, and we're not going back.
Nope.
We're going to do time travel, but we're not going to unmake the 5 years where everyone was missing.
Yep.
Yeah, which is
Which
funny.
creates some problems,
A
but
little bit. Like who's the president? Like, who's
well,
running
also
this-
like all the people who would have died.
oh, yeah.
Like you brought back all these people.
And they're
But
5
what about
years
the,
younger
what
than
about the
everybody
pilot
else.
of the plane who crashed?
Yeah, like so many of the people that you brought back, their families are gonna have died in the like chaos that ensues.
Yeah.
So that's kind of tragic if you think about it, but let's not.
Let's just
Right.
enjoy the fact that
Now,
they're back.
That being said,
And they
I
didn't age 5
mean,
years.
like part of the reason they did that was so that Tony Stark wouldn't lose his daughter.
Yes.
But there's also the
Yeah.
other part of it being like they didn't know what would happen.
Yeah,
Right.
I kind of gathered that like maybe you couldn't do that, or like Iron Man insisted.
I only got it because Iron Man's like, I'm not going to
I'm not giving back my
give
daughter.
back my
No,
daughter.
I think they were worried about like they were already going to use time travel,
Mhm.
but then the idea of changing the past that drastically,
Yeah,
I think they were concerned about that. They're like, from this point on, if we change it, we haven't lived it, so who the hell knows? And so far, nobody's come back from the future here
Right.
to tell us not to do this.
right.
So like, I was kind of under the impression that like Iron Man really didn't feel they should mess up the time stream that much,
Yes.
even if it is in the idea for the greater good.
Right.
Right.
But also, he
There's
had everything he
also-
ever wanted. So
Yeah.
he's
He
being
had
a
everything he
selfish.
ever wanted, but ethically, there's other people who would have too. And
Yeah.
can you unmake ethically all these people who have developed lives?
Yeah.
It's a problem to bring back people as well, but
Yeah.
it's more of a problem to erase from existence
Yes.
everyone who came into being
Yeah.
in the last 5
Basically,
years.
That's just as bad as like what Loki did by taking everyone's like minds and memories. They're just like, yeah, you're gonna lose the past the next like the last 5 years. We'll remember,
Yeah.
probably, or at least one of us will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind, all the people who also get remarried.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that
exactly.
creates problems as well, but they made the decision to. I do wish they would have considered more the ethical, like, costs
Boundary,
of, like,
But they
is
might.
it worse to go back in time and try to fix it, or is it worse to, like, bring back everyone after so much has changed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that was, like, kind of a little bit there,
Mhm.
but they didn't really discuss it
Well,
explicitly.
No,
I
and
feel
it's-
like it was more on the, again, that time travel side of it. Like
Yeah.
the ethical stuff, they were like, look, here's the thing, like there might legitimately like be huge ramifications from messing with time that much.
Yeah.
Well, the other
So
thing was,
like, let's not even we can't get to the ethics because it's like we might destroy everything.
Yeah, so let's just play it safe.
Yeah.
sure. Also, the movie was 3 hours and change.
Yeah.
And I feel like, because we also talked
There's no more
about
room.
this concept of like, we think there's a deleted scene.
Mhm.
Now, I'm sure there's dozens of
Oh,
deleted
yeah.
scenes, and one of them might actually be like a throwaway line that does go like, my aunt got remarried. If I bring back my uncle, what's going to happen to her?
Yeah.
Right.
And Leroy,
Yeah.
my new uncle. Like,
Right.
you know, I'm sure there's a line like that, but
That'd be great.
you know, and I'd like to see the director's cut because we talked about this other deleted scene that must exist.
Mhm.
And that is, we talked about this, when Thanos snaps everyone out of existence, he wakes up, presumably in Soul
Yeah.
World,
Yeah.
and he sees the young Gamora, and she like makes him feel bad.
Yeah.
And Hulk snaps, remaking everyone.
Yeah.
He didn't
And
see
he
anything.
didn't see anything, and that's where we were talking about the idea of like he tried to bring back Natasha.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that there is a sequence where Hulk wakes up in some water.
Yeah.
And Natasha's in the pagoda or
Right.
whatever, and
Or
she's
whatever
like,
it is.
or whatever he sees,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Hey, it worked, but I can't come with you." You know, like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
really gut wrenching scene
Yeah.
because he does, as you guys pointed out, like he does know definitively she can't come back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so like, and wouldn't it have been also so juicy as a filmmaker to have that scene? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Thor and or
Plus-
Hulk and
Yeah, and I feel like probably he would have woken up and he was still Mark Ruffalo, but he's not Hulk in Soul World.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Because Mark Ruffalo's like, no, I'm gonna act.
Well, yeah, it would have been him, and like,
I do sleepy dramas anyway.
yeah, no, she would have been like, I'm not coming back.
Right, and I guarantee you, that's why it's like justice for the director's cut. I want the 4.5 hours of Endgame, and I have
Yeah,
only seen this
man.
movie once, and it's literally not even out yet by the time we tell it.
And I'm glad we had cosmic characters to remind us of this, but like, it didn't just take place on Earth.
Right.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
the actions that they were going to take part in were going to affect the universe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, like, yeah, I think they made the right choice in
Yeah.
just bringing people back because they have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
What
how
the
it's going to
other
handle it.
planets would say.
Yeah, and I mean, like, either way, there could have, like you said, been arguments both ways. I
Yeah.
think they were safest. in
I'm
that.
sure the Galactic
Yeah.
Council's going to have some
But-
issues with it no matter what.
what I loved is like I choose just as horrible, like the embodiment of this ethical quandary being
Stark's daughter?
Yeah.
Morgan?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Perfectly cast.
Oh,
perfectly
yes.
cast. She's a perfect little girl. She doesn't have to do a whole lot of acting. She just acts like a little girl. They like
And that just makes you cry. The
Yeah.
sequence where she's sitting with Happy and she refers
Oh.
to the first thing that Tony wants when he comes back from
Yeah.
America.
Mhm.
Cheeseburgers. Oh,
oh.
Uh,
He's like, I'm gonna get you all the cheeseburgers.
you're gonna be as fat as Happy. Yeah.
That I Love You 3000. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We see that the Hulk is now combined.
Yes,
The Hulk
we got
and
Doc
Banner
Green.
simultaneously.
Yep. I like
Which is
that.
great. They did a good job of
Okay,
making
guys, that
Hulk
is,
and Mark
I
Ruffalo
think,
be
complete.
one person.
That is the end
Yeah.
of
So
this.
much
So,
fun. Kids love
thank
it.
you very much for
Right,
joining in. Thank you very
found
much for
that
watching.
Fun.
Hopefully, it hasn't spoilt it too much for you. But I did promise you a scene from the very beginning, which you will get very soon. It is the snap that appears. If you haven't seen the film yet, guys, and you've just now tuned in, it's probably not a very good idea for you to watch anymore. But if you have watched the film, keep tuned to watch that scene one more time. And that'll be the end of this week's. Thank you very much for that there, buddy. Sure it will be for you, but many other people. But like I'm saying, guys, we have got a little bit of a scene which we got from the very beginning of this video. And this brings an end to the paper version of this week's videos and a picture completed. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, guys. But like I promised, the snap. Again, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe because this is going to its next stage to be digitized. Tune in throughout the next couple days and I'll see you in the next one. If you want to see how I sketched this and inked it, don't forget to check up in the playlists. Don't forget to check out all the other videos that I have gotten up to. And check out the games. My name's Blut084. BLUT084 Art and Games. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.